Hi everyone, my name is Suresh. I'm having almost 11 and a half years of experience in IT. I worked on Datastage almost 9 years. From last 2.5 years, I'm working on Datastage integrated with big data on Datastage 11.5 version. In your class also, okay. But in today's demo, I'm going to show you an old version a little bit. But in your class, you'll be having either 11.3 or 11.5 version. That's going to be sure. Because I already got installation and everything on the permission. You will have that version of software we are going to discuss in our classes. So I'm going to mute all of you. If anyone having any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask me any questions, whatever you have. I'm not going to have any kind of introductions and everything about personal and all, because anyway, we'll get to know from tomorrow because already it's too late. 15 minutes we wasted here. Right. The version which we are going to discuss in our sessions is Datastage and QUALITYSTAGE 11.5 and how decisions are going to come. It is going to be completely live classes. Every day we are going to have a class 1.5 hours based on all of your availability. And after every class completed, you will get that class recording also. Okay, I'm going to share after every class completed the class recording to everyone. And we also going to send a kind of weekly, maybe at the beginning of your session itself, you'll get some kind of interview questions, some kind of assignment, I can say practice questions and everything. Mostly what we did for other batches is, we did for other batches like every weekly or sometimes whenever they need those interview questions we share to them. So the same way, maybe if you need, you get the same way. Otherwise, if you guys want, on day one itself, all the interview questions and everything they are going to share, my team is going to share to you guys. So you will have in hands all the material. And if you need any kind of help, basic help, once my session started, I'm going to give my mobile number also. Maybe who are in US, you can call me at any point of time. Who are in India, maybe you can call me your daytime or maybe night time. I'm okay up to 12 o'clock my time. Okay, anytime you can talk with me. Okay, any questions or anything. Not when you are practicing, because that's going to be silly things. So when you are really working in your environment, if you need any help, right? You need any help on resume preparation or anything, or in case if you are in US, if you need any kind of interview support, for example, you want to take me interview in place of you and telephonic, I'm okay to take. There's nothing right in this one. That's also going to be flexible, and we also going to give a flexibility that is for example, you joined this batch, due to some unfortunate thing you are not able to continue this batch, right? You can attend next batch. There is no restriction like that. You can attend n number of batches, how many you want. Okay, but you only don't give the same credentials to some other person. Okay, that's not going to be supposed. You can attend, for example, you attend this batch, you are not able to get 100%, you want to continue one more, you can. Okay, even you missed few parts, you want to continue next batch, you can. There is no restrictions. Okay, only you should attend this batch, this is the only time frame like that. And my admins are going to take care about the installation of software to you guys on your machines. They will install Datastage software on your machine, so you can practice. That is which version and everything, that's going to be depend upon your machine configuration, right? And based on all those, they are going to install. For example, you're having a Windows 10 operating system, then they're going to install a VMware. If you have Windows 7 or something, they're going to install direct installation also. Anything is okay. That's up to our personal practice, right? It's not going to be a work environment. Either VMware or direct installations also, both are going to be okay. And for example, you took today Datastage class, right? You are not able to understand completely, and you got the recordings. For example, unfortunately those recordings are deleted by mistake, right? You can send me a mail entire lifelong time, anytime. Even I'm going to get after 4 or 5 months, by mistake of my recordings got deleted, I need a recording. Yes, we are going to provide like There is no such a restrictions. Okay, you can call me at any point of time. You can mail me, or we are going to give mail IDs to also. So you can get recordings at any point of time, any version also. There is no restriction. Okay, up to 1 year you can attend a number of sessions. And I told you, right, you will get a interview questions with a detailed explanation of answers also. Some basic questions I can say, some I can say scenario based questions, some are going to be advanced project questions also. These are all we are going to share to you guys as part of our training initially. And when it comes to this Datastage ETL tool, right, let me go. The version which I am going to cover here is 11.5 version. And what are the things I am going to cover? As this is a demo session, I am not going to show you all the things in one class. But whatever we are going to discuss today, okay, we are going to cover that one completely with detail, not like a basics, with detail we are going to discuss. Okay. So when it comes to this IBM InfoSphere information server, right, first few classes we'll go to data warehousing fundamentals. Okay. First, let me just show you that one too. Because few of you may be already worked on Datastage. Few of you may be new to this Datastage ETL tool, right? Or few may be completely new to this IT technology also. IT technologies, maybe you are working in other environment, I mean, other areas, or maybe OPT, CPT, right? So to understand this data warehouse and its basics, you should also know what is data warehouse, why we need a data warehouse, and what are the different systems involved in building up this data warehouse. Like what is the meaning of an operational system, how these operational systems are going to build on top of operational systems, how we are going to build a data warehouse. All these things we are going to discuss in our sessions. Simply, these are all we are going to discuss in our sessions as part of our training. Okay, like data warehousing approaches, top-down approach and bottom-up approach, right? And these are all we are going to discuss as part of our training. That's called fundamentals. These fundamentals will take almost 4 to 5 sessions. Once these fundamental sessions completed on data warehousing, we will go to data modeling. So, do we need to really know or need to have a complete understanding of this data modeling? Not required actually. Because in working environments, you will be having a separate data modeling teams. As separate data modeling team, they will take it. But as a ETL developer, you would also understand what is data model, what are different levels of data models are there, right? Especially, we have to understand what is conceptual data model, what is logical data model, what is physical data model, and how this modeling is going to be interact with ETL. Because we are going to work on a tool called the ETL tool, that's Datastage. How it's going to be interacted. So because when you are loading the data into data warehouse database, right? Data warehouse is nothing but a database. So Oracle or Teradata or DB to these kind of databases. When we have these kind of databases, on top of these databases, we are going to have a table section. So those kind of table structures are going to be created with using of these modeling section. Let me show you some examples for that too. So I'm showing you guys simple modeling diagram. So these kind of the modeling diagrams are going to be prepared by a modeling team. Once they prepare these kind of modeling diagrams, as a ETL team, we have to understand what is the relationship between these other tables, because we have to load the data into these tables. For example, I'm showing right now a table called provider. So how to load the data into this particular provider table? For example, I have a column called provider key. This may be a primary key in this table, right? As a ETL developer, we we should understand what is this provider table, what are all these attributes in this particular table, which is a primary key column, which are all foreign keys, and what is the relationship between this provider table to this particular fact table RX claim, that means pharmacy claims, right? Just take an example. We visited a hospital. There they give some medicines after my visit completed. Okay, doctor prescribed me some medicines. So I'm taking those medicines from my pharmacy, right? So the pharmacy is submitting a one claim to my insurance company. That's called RX claim. So what is the relationship between this table to this table here? A claim is coming. That claim is going to associate to some pharmacy. That is going to associate to some hospital. And that is going to associate to some member, right? All these kind of relationships we have to understand in any business to load the data into the tables. So these kind of relationships are going to be established by a team called data modeling team. Here there are different arrow marks, one to many, many to one, right? There are different kind of relationships. One claim, whatever is submitted, is going to be unique claim. But a pharmacy can submit multiple claims, right? One to many. And each claim may be associated to one or more providers too. One to many, right? A claim is going to associate to one member, one to one. Or one member may have multiple claims, one to many. Those kind of relationships are going to be established and identified by data modeling. So we have to understand that too. Even though we are not going to work on that part in any of the actual projects, but that also we have to understand dimensional data modeling. We have to understand what is a fact in a project, what are different types of facts in data warehouse, right? What are different types of dimension tables, all these fundamentals. I don't want to discuss much about fundamentals. It will take minimum 5 to 6 classes to complete these fundamentals. Once these fundamentals completed, we will go to Datastage ETL. So until unless we completed the fundamentals, we always discuss about the slides with the basic slides, and I'll also go to this modeling project. These are all project modeling documents, and I will also use some of the project architecture kind of PPTs to understand the data warehousing architecture PPTs to understand the project architecture, right? How those are going to be the real world, what kind of projects are going to be built as, and what is the sources, what kind of targets will be there, how it is going to be processed between system to system, all those stuff we will understand as part of fundamentals. Okay, very good. After understanding a fundamental, for example, we know that right now my client started building a data warehouse. Their data is here, but we need to load that entire these heterogeneous applications data into this data warehouse. For that, our client decided to use a tool called Datastage. Now we have to justify how to build, how to pull the data from these systems, how to do some kind of operations, because customer data may come from Linux, customer data may come from system Z, that's called mainframe, customer data may come from Oracle. So I need to combine, I need to join, I need to convert XML files, I need to do some kind of comparison, cross verification. All those we are going to call as the transformations. So the tool which we are going to discuss is an ETL tool. ETL means extraction, transformation, and loading. To do those all ETL operations, we are using a tool called Datastage, right? Now, coming to this Datastage, once I discuss all these fundamentals, I'll go to directly the tool. Okay, only architecture we are going to discuss in the basics. When you go to the actual basics, right? This is an architecture of this Datastage 11.3 and 11.5 also. This is the same architecture, and from 11.5 I can say, because I want to discuss 11.5 to your class. In the 11.5, Datastage is integrated a little bit more than other versions with a big data. If any one of you understand big data, I'm okay to establish the connectivity. Even maybe this batch, because I'm I'm teaching Datastage 11.5 first batch. Okay, earlier we discussed 9.1 versions. So I'm very good at big data. You don't need to worry about it because from last 2.5 years I'm not working on Datastage. I'm working on big data. So I want to show you how to connect from Datastage to big data connectivity, and I'll discuss how to establish a connectivity from Datastage to HDFS. There's a process called Hadoop distributed file system, because now most of the clients, even if you heard outside also, right, most of the clients started migrating their existing data warehouse or existing systems into big data platform, who are right now purchasing Datastage 11.5. They are not only used for ETL operations, they start simply implementing big data too. I'm working big data almost 2.5 years with the Datastage 11.3 and these versions, right? So I know how to establish the connectivity, and I also, even if you're not too much familiar with the big data, I'll give you basics of big data. Okay, what is big data? What are different kind of Hadoop ecosystems are there, like HDFS, MapReduce, Hive, but we don't need to have all those knowledge actually. Okay, because that's again different tool, right? For example, if you want to choose big data as your career, that's going to be completely different platform. But what we need to do, if you see even recent requirement in DICE, Corp to Corp, in these portals, mostly they're asking who are, even recently one of the ETL tool came into market that's called Talent. If you see these technologies, right, their companies are looking who are having knowledge on ETL plus big data. ETL plus big data, right? Even if you want, if anyone don't know, just go and open Indeed or DICE, see how good ETL and big data. If you know only ETL, there is no advantage, because there are a lot of people out there outside in the market who knows ETL. Little bit of big data knowledge. I'm not saying you need to be expert on big data. Little bit of big data knowledge and ETL knowledge. If you're, then your resume is going to be kind of shortlisted. Easy. It's going to be easily shortlisted. So that I'm going to discuss how to establish a connectivity between Datastage to big data, and especially HDFS, how to send a file from Datastage to HDFS system, how to integrate, what kind of integrations we are going to do, and how to establish the process of this one, right? What kind of specific process. Even some, I don't know, it's going to work out completely, because I don't want to be blame anyone, mislead anyone. I'm saying that because I don't want to do it like that. Whatever is possible to show, I will show you here, because some connectivities are not going to be possible with the free softwares. I think you can understand, right? Because we are going to get a free software of 11.5 Datastage. It's not going to be paid one. So I don't know 100% it's going to work out or not. But few components I know, because we installed it yesterday only. So it's already working out to connect with the Datastage to HDFS and all those things. But few things, especially running up MapReduce programs and ARM, all those things is not possible. Something maybe we are not having paid, because some plugins we are going to get actually. ARM plugins, those are not available as part of free software. But I'll explain the process. But it's not a big deal, because anyway, when you are working on a company, right, that's admin role. Admin can take care of the setup. If you know how to connect, just options, that's enough. Once you connect to that one, how to pull the data out of HDFS into Datastage, how to process the data into Datastage, then again send back the data into the HDFS, HBase, this kind of database also. That's so completely our tool discussion is going to be on tool, not like a basics, except this architecture. Once we complete this architecture, right? What is this Datastage? What are the components we are going to have? And what are the different components are there in Datastage, right? Especially when it comes to this Datastage, we are going to have a different flavors of Datastage. I can say different components are there in the Datastage. Like I can say, we have a Datastage server jobs, Datastage parallel jobs, Datastage mainframe jobs, Datastage sequence jobs. But from past a few years, all the clients are using only these parallel jobs and sequencer jobs. Mainframe, I can say, if you have completely your source is a mainframe system and you want to build a target is also again mainframe system, then clients are going to choose mainframe, because it's not a free component, right? We have to pay from the client. So it will going to be a costlier one. So whenever it's going to be costlier one, right? So we have to take this particular separate tool. And what is this server job? This server jobs is a kind of old version of Datastage. Even if you come into 11.5 also we have, but we are not going to use, because In the server job, the execution of these data stage jobs are going to be in sequential order of execution. So that's going to be a green challenge. The reason we are going for the parallel job, where we can see parallel execution of our data stage. And next thing is, we'll go to the sequencer job. The sequencer is the one where we are going to define the batch process implementation. See, for example, we are 10 people here, right? All the 10 people, okay, I mean 10 developers, for example, assume that all the 10 developers start developing the jobs, for example. Once we start developing the jobs, all the 10, right? Assume that I developed 10, Hemant developed, for example, 10, and Babu developed 10 jobs, for example, like this, okay. Mamata developed like this, we have all the team, everyone developed 10. We develop, for example, 200 jobs. Now these 200 jobs we want to put in a batch, right? We want to put these 200 jobs in a batch actually. That's we are going to call a sequence. If you want to build a sequence, and that sequence, for example, you want to process it and you want to specify the dependencies, right? Then we use this particular sequencer jobs. So as part of our training, we'll go to that particular sequencer creations also, and how to establish the connectivity, okay, to the Unix level components, and how to, I mean, I can say how to run the jobs as a batch. All those things we are going to do as part of our sequencer jobs creation. So that's about the basic data stage environment. Now let me go jump into the tool. I don't want to waste our time discussing technically. I already opened data stage tool. When it comes to this data stage tool, there are all different kind of client components are going to be there. Once data stage software installed on your machine, you will get all these components. Okay, there are different components you can see. Data stage developer, that's called designer client, and data stage director, which is going to be used to see the log. Here, this is a data stage designer where you are going to develop your data stage job. On day-to-day basis, wherever you want to go to develop a job means a kind of graphical design. See, because this data stage is ETL tool is completely graphical tool. There is no programming. You are not going to write a big programs. No, nothing. Just going to use graphical icons. Those are called stages. Those stages, whatever we build, those are going to be used with this designer client. And next one is director client. Director client is the one where we are going to create, right? Where we are going to create log. For example, I created a data stage job. I ran data stage job. I want to see how it is running, how much time it took, right? Is it really successfully finished? Or is it having any issues? If it is having any issues, what are those errors? What are those messages, right? I want to see all those. I want to understand my error messages. Then we use this data stage director client, okay? Kind of restarting from the beginning, or I want to rerun the job, or I want to set up some kind of, okay, performance statistics of the job to see. These are one where we are going to use all those stuff actually. And we also have one more client that's called IBM Information Server Manager. This IBM Information Server Manager is a one client which is going to use it for the deployment of our data stage softwares. See, for example, we are developers, right? We develop a data stage job, and once development completed, we want to load the jobs. I mean, completely, I can say like this. Once we development completed, we are done with the development. We want to move the entire code from development to test, or development to UAT, or development to production, right? Because every time in any project, the code is going to be run in production, there actually business is going to get actual data from the business system. So in that case, to do the deployment of your code from lower environments to higher environments, we use this IBM Information Server Manager. With this, you can import and export the code, and you can also create I can simply say that packages also. But in olden days, what most of the people do for this one is, most of the people are going to do creating a package and creating a tar file from the Unix level actually. Creating a package and creating a tar file in the Unix level we are going to do with the IBM information server. This is a one, okay, which we can do whatever we did in Unix level with using of this graphical icon. That's the one thing. And we are also going to use one more. Okay. These import export we are not going to use, especially we have a client, but when we are going to use this one means really if you are connecting from Datastage to any of the database, for example, or any of the reporting tools, for example, Datastage, I want to connect with the Cognos, I want to connect with the SAP BOs, or I want to connect with the, I can say, Cbel Analytics, or I want to connect with Hyperion. These kind of the reporting tools and pull those cubes information. For example, in my project also we used earlier Hyperion. Hyperion is one of the reporting tool. There we have Hyperion SBase and Hyperion Planning. Especially Hyperion SBase is one database. That Hyperion SBase database when you are using, we used to import that Hyperion SBase cubes into Datastage. Then we use this import export manager actually. But normally, if you are not having those kind of third-party connectivity databases, we don't need this one. And we are going to use one more. This is nothing but a IBM InfoSphere connector migrator tool. What is this connector migrator tool? See, most of the clients before 2 years you started using of Datastage 8.1 and 8.7 I can say. The two versions are popular in the market. Now also 20% of clients are only using 11.5. 70% of clients are using 9.1 only, still in Datastage. Reason is 11.3, 11.5, those are released recently and those are not at stable actually. They're having few issues in tool level as well. And I don't know, IBM is going to release hard recently, they are going to release version 12, but it's not yet confirmed actually. So these old version, for example, assume that we are using 8.1. My client is using 8.1 version since 10 years. Okay, because this is released okay in 2006 almost. I guess 8 to 9 years, assume that for example. So at that point, they are using Oracle 9 or something. Now, client also want to migrate their database to Oracle 11 or Oracle policy something. At the time, as database is migrating by client, we also want to change old database stages to new database stages in Datastage. That means migration, right? See, client is migrating, our client decided to migrate database completely. You want to migrate old database to new database. As part of that, to support that new database version and to pull the data from the new database into Datastage, we also need to migrate what are the existing options inside Datastage. For that, only database migration if you want to perform in Datastage, we are going to use a client called IBM InfoSphere connector migration tool. That connector migration tool is a one which is going to connect to the database and replace the existing database options with the new. If you want to do this one manually, it will take months of time to the developers, months and months, because I did the same in one of my projects. Okay, I worked the same. Almost 4 months we spent on that to migrate from old version, because every option we have to manually change, every property, every SQL, lot of changes. But by using this one, it's a kind of complete automatic conversion. Okay, that's one of the tools also. Like this, we are going to use mostly few of the tools out of these all development tools. Apart from those, we also have two more components. Those are called admin components. One is administrator client and second one is web console for IBM information server. So when it comes to this web console for IBM information server, right, this is a web-based administrator and this is a browser-based administrator. This is a desktop-based administrator. This is we are going to call as a web-based administrator. That's one we are going to call as a desktop admin. So assume that we are all joined in a project today, right? Then we are going to send to our admin or employee ID details or something. So admin is going to create a username and password for us using of this web console. He's going to create LADB connections and everything. Once admin created this web console, right, that need to be allocated to, that need to be mapped to specific project. For example, in my company, there are 100 Datastage applications out there. Okay, my Unix user ID created. password created. That Linux user ID and password is going to be your Datastage user ID and password generally. So that need to be mapped to specific project. Otherwise, I am not able to access any specific project. I have a project A, project B, project C, project D like this. But my user ID should be mapped to specific project. And some of the credentials also need to be specified. That we are going to do with using of the administrator client. So local administrator client is the one which is going to configure the connectivities and controlling the environment, specifying the analyze parameters, and doing of setting of the user-defined environmental variables and controlling the sequences, all those kind of mapping the user IDs to project. All these things we can do with using of this local admin, and creating of users, allocating the roles, all those things we can do with using of the web console. I just try to open web console. I'm logging into admin. In our missions, we can log in both admin and developers also, but in working environments, mostly if you are working as a developer, they will not give you access to admins, will not allow you to access this IBM information servers, because this IBM information server is the one which is going to have all the components of your Datastage. In this one, it's a kind of home welcome screen, and if you click on administration tab, here you can go to all the different kind of activities here you can do, like domain management, session management. Here is a place where your admins are going to create a users. If you click on these users here, so see, in this mission right now, there are 3 users are there which are going to be Datastage, ADM, and VAS admin. So if you want to create a one more user, click on this new user. Okay, there you can create. I'll explain as part of our admin training. Okay, both, because we are going to discuss both Datastage development and admin part also. So as part of my admin classes, I'm going to explain how to create a new user and how to allocate the roles. There are different kind of roles you can see. There are all the roles. Datastage, quality stage developer. This is called Datastage and quality stage user. Datastage and quality admin. Data quality administrator, business glossary author, information analyzer if you're working information analyzer user, right? Rule administrator, rule author, metadata worker bench admin. All the different kind of roles are going to be created and authorized. Those roles are creating and everything is going to take care in the information server. See, IBM information server, that's called IIIS, 3 I's, yes. That's called IBM InfoSphere information server. That is going to be a kind of server. Under that umbrella, we are going to have different components. It's called sub-components. What are those? Datastage, that's called IBM InfoSphere Datastage, IBM InfoSphere Quality Stage, IBM InfoSphere Information Analyzer, IBM InfoSphere Metadata Assistant Manager, IBM InfoSphere Data Click, IBM InfoSphere Fast Track, IBM InfoSphere Information Server Director, IBM Information Server Governance Catalog. That's a component was added from Datastage 11.3. Information Server Governance Catalog. That governance catalog, governance dashboard, that's a kind of high level rules. You don't need to worry about it. Even we don't need to learn those also, because those are kind of security level and kind of data maintenance level of roles, not a developer role, because our training is mostly based on developer and admin and quality stage, not on those kind of roles. So we are going to discuss how to create all those stuff in the information server, and then we'll go to developer clients also. When it comes to especially the developer client, this we are going to call as a Datastage designer. This is the place where you are going to develop your jobs. For example, I'm simply opening here view. I'm opening existing my jobs. I'm not discussing right now how to create a job and everything. I'm just opening existing of my jobs, any of my batch. So like this, you can see different jobs we are going to create in our batch. All these whatever we created here, right? Just an example. I'm opening one. So this is called one job. Just minimizing a little bit, which is taking the data from 3 different files and doing of simple transformations here, and then file loading again into files. So every Datastage job is not going to load directly into the database table. It's kind of step-by-step process. First, extract the data from the source, right? It It may be a table, it may be a file, or it may be XML or anything, and do some transformations, student intermediate. Most of intermediate is going to be datasets. And from there, we again go into database. That's why we are going to discuss all the stages which are available on planet. So, okay, what are the example jobs we are going to build? We are going to build every job. No, I'm not going to even use the existing job also. I'm going to build in front of you in our class. Once I discuss all the options, right? I'm going to execute the job and I'm going to show the result, how we are going to get the data, and we'll also discuss how to do the compilation, running, how to take importing and exporting, right? How to see the performance of the job. For example, I want to do resource estimation, and this is the option we are going to call the performance analyzer. How to analyze the performance of my job. All those things. Even if you come into this one, how to create the sequencers also. See, not like a basic jobs, right? Once we create the sequencer is a one environment. See, basic, that may be a simple sequence, that may be a complex sequence, okay, everything. So we are going to start developing the jobs in our class. In those jobs, I'm going to explain. First, initially, because day one itself, we should not create a complex job. It's going to be a lot of confusion. Initially, we'll start with the simple jobs. Once you guys start practicing parallelly, we can go to some complex job based on the stages and everything, what stage we need to discuss first and everything. And then we'll go to finally sequencers. That's a part of development completed. Once development completed, few stages are going to be discussed at the end. And out of these all the stages also, when you open your palette, in the stage where you can see, right here, few stages are important stages, especially the very important stage here is going to be transformer. Transformer is the one where you are going to do different kind of transformation operations. So we are going to discuss about this transformer stage, how to use this transformer and what kind of transformations we are going to perform. And we'll also go to databases, how to pull the data from database stages, what kind of database operation we are going to perform, all those things. And we also going to go for debugging and development. Few stages where we are going to debug actually. Where we want to debug our process, right? Whatever I build, is it really working? I want to test it. That's called debugging. But if you want to do views and a file, if you are getting the data from plot files, .txt, .csv, those kind of files, if you want to process, use plot file stages. And we are also going to create a processing stage, right, where we are having different kind of processing operations. Apart from these all basic things, we'll also go to data quality. Okay. Apart from that, we can also discuss data quality too. That's based on your interest. Even recent days, I also observed recent days in market, few clients have started using complete quality stage, not even data stage too. In data stage they are already using, but they are start requirements also on quality stage. Because if you see right in trends wise, data stage are a lot of people out there. But who knows, especially quality stage and little bit advanced, I can say information analyzer also. But even I know information analyzer, but I'm not able to show you guys here because the information analyzer is not going to work on our missions. It requires IADB credentials. That's not going to be free. I'm not able to show you. Earlier I showed in the previous few batches back, but nowadays we are not able to show. So we can discuss only quality stage. So what is this quality stage? Is it not a data stage? If you learn data stage generally, if you're putting in your resume data stage, is it means of your quality stage? No. Complete quality stage is different actually. Even the role itself is different in your job profiles. Data stage developer role is completely different. Quality stage developer role is completely different. You can see in DICE or corp to corp. Okay, if you want to pull in our actual class, okay, what are the roles and responsibilities. When it comes to quality stage, the meaning of the term is whatever the data we are processing, we want to verify the quality of our data. So in data stage, right, we have a few important operations we are going to do while we are loading the data into data warehouse tables. Right? we are going to perform different operations. ETL, extraction, transformation, and loading. That doesn't mean that, okay, are we going to check the quality of our data? No. We are going to check only high level. Duplicates are there or not. Joining keys are having proper values or not. Those only. But I want to check the address, whatever you enter. Just take an example. I think every one of us, right, purchase a lot of items in Thanksgiving holidays. Just an example, right? Whenever we are giving our address, for example, you are buying some item from Amazon. So Amazon is saying that, okay, you entered some address. Amazon is saying recommendation of addresses, right? You are looking for these 6 addresses. Please select or use your own address. That means what Amazon is giving to us, it's giving standardized address of your address. You're giving your apartment and your apartment number and, okay, your apartment name and everything, right? But it's giving standardized address. Same as, for example, 3 customers are living in same community, but they are entering address in 3 different standardized formats. One guy is entering different way, one guy is entering. That means while processing or while pulling out of that particular community wise or something, all 3 records will not come into output. That is the reason while we are loading the data into data warehouse tables, we want to make the data into standardizing of the formats. That's the meaning of quality stage. We want to check the quality of our data. Is it really 100% of my data quality is reaching or not? I want to get a threshold. If yes, then I want to load it. If no, do required operations and make the data into standardized format. Then finally load into data warehouse table. That is not the part of your Datastage jobs. Generally, if you build your Datastage jobs, that is not going to be completely implemented with using of your existing Datastage like file stages, transformation stages, SCD stages, or join stages, or lookup stages, or whatever it may be. For doing of your data quality check and make the data into standardized format and make the data into matching and survival process, we have a separate stages are available in Datastage. Those are called investigation, standardization, matching, survival. So we are going to apply. For example, today we received a US customer file, right? That file I want to verify. All the customers who already entered their addresses, are those standardized addresses? Are their email IDs are standardized? Are their phone numbers are standardized? Are their SN numbers are standardized? Or something, whatever it may be, right? What are the key fields you want to verify? You verify with using of quality stage. If everything looks good, then start doing ETL operation and loading in target. If nothing is good, right, then we simply integrate to source team, send the correct data. Because that way we will eliminate that data in data warehouse. So I can say from past few years, okay, even though this quality stage there, no clients are using actually. Because IBM introduced this quality stage as part of your data stage from 2006 onwards. But hardly at that time only 3 to 5% of clients are used. But recently, from last 2 years, 3 years, I observed that 30% to 40% of clients start using quality stage. Rapid change. Now that's what you can say. You can see in requirements also quality stage requirement. And computation is also very, very less with comparison of who knows only data stage. There are so many people who knows only data stage. But who knows quality stage, very less. You can put your profile also both quality stage and data stage if you know. It's not too difficult or something. It's a very simple and very straightforward tool or kind of components. If existing address standard is matching, yes, it will go to match. If it is not the one, I told you just an example, right? We are entering address. If it is accepting, accept it. Otherwise, it's going to give you recommendations. Same as in quality stage also, we are going to get the recommendations. Then who is feeding the recommendations? For example, I'm entering my Minnesota address, for example. So who is going to feed that my address, my home address or my office address? That means it's going to be fed by IBM already. That particular background database is there. Standardized database is there. Sometimes, even though IBM is providing some rules, those are not going to be enough to make the data of your standardized. So you have to create your own rules also. That's where quality stage experts require. So there are different operations we are going to perform inside this particular quality stage. That's called investigation, standardization, matching, views, AVI, right? Survival, all these. Let me open the tool. I don't want to discuss too theoretically now. See, if you open this one, see these databases, debug and development, file, processing, real time, right? Restructure. All these are data stage only. Only a separate folder we are having that we are going to work with the quality stage. You may have a question because I got a few questions from recently one of other student also. What he asked is, can I learn directly quality stage? Why should I learn data stage? Okay, then I go to quality stage. Okay, can I get job directly in quality stage? Yes, but you have to understand some data stage jobs. Why? Reason is you need to extract the data, right? If you see these quality stage stages, whatever we have, almost okay, 6 or 7, or I can say 9 stages, for example. These 9 or 10 stages, whatever we are having, these are not used to extract the data. These are not used to load the data. These are only to check the data. That's it. If you are using these days in our job, like data rules, match frequency, one source match, standardize, or two source match, investigate, or MNS. MNS means multinational standardization address. SQ means standardized quality assessment, survive, right? All these stages are used to do the data quality only. And how to pull the data, how to extract the data, how to load the data, how to join the data. Again, you need data stage knowledge. So, who can go into this quality stage Java developer role means who are having data stage knowledge. Maybe not, you are not going to be expert. At least a basic knowledge should be there to understand this quality. Even though it's a part of data stage. Normally, if your role is data stage developer, in your project, you will never use these stages. You will never, ever, I can say. If your client start using data quality, then only you will start using these stages, these 9 stages in your job development. But these stages also required some source and targets and transformations. So, who knows data stage, they can easily understand this quality stage, they can work on the quality stage. We also going to discuss about this quality stage, how to build a quality stage, what kind of quality we want to check and everything, rules and everything also. And at the end, we'll go to one project, one complete project also we are going to discuss as part of our training. Okay, this is what I just want to give in high level. And coming to the project also, it's going to be 10 to 15 hours of duration. So entire this session's duration is going to be 50 hours. So minimum basics 5 hours we need, 30 hours we need for the course, 35, then 15 hours we need for the project. There is no fast tracks at me. Okay, I'm not going to discuss, I'm not going to encourage any fast track. But if all are okay, maybe we can take 2 hours of that's all. But I don't know. They're all are okay to take 2 hours. But at least we need 50 hours of duration to complete this entire tour. That's all today from my end. It's a kind of just introduction demo. Anyone having any questions, you can ask me. You can unmute yourself. You can ask me. Sorry, what is it, Kevin?
Can you send me your email address so that we can mail you with our reference?
Yep, sure.
Thanks.
Suresh, I have a question. Like, could you, I mean, in a real class, could you explain what is the difference between that 8.5 version to now you're teaching the 11.3, right?
Yes.
So, what are the differences going to have or not?
Sure, yes.
Okay. And also, we provide that like a PDF material.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to show that one. We are running out of time. Materials wise, you will get all these. Okay, these class PPTs, all these class PPTs. There is nothing to hide. Whatever I am going to show in the classes, everything you will get it. Data stage, modeling materials, everything. Nothing to hide. Okay, everything. These are all models of another project which I worked on, and currently I am working also. I should not say. And data stage project materials, which is the project we are going to discuss. Maybe different project also. Tool materials, and 11.3 certification dumps. Coming to certification dumps, right? You can write certification. I don't check it actually till IBM released 11.5 certification or not, but there is no 9.1 certification right now in the market. Only only 11.3 you can write, or else you can write 11.5. I don't check, I'm sorry, because maybe I'm a little bit lagging on that area, certification level, but 11.3 certification dump you will receive. You can just prepare the certification dump. There are 65 questions are there in the perfect dump. Same questions will come in the certification. You can prepare yourself, you can complete it. The certification and the Datastage device PPTs. Okay, I'm going to use some of the PPTs in my class while I'm explaining. All those PPTs also will get it in our class, and the fundamentals materials, databasing fundamentals materials I can say, and the ETL testing materials also. Okay, in case if you want to do a kind of ETL testing, and Oracle, if you want Oracle materials, quality stage and information analyzer. Okay, all these quality stage and information analyzer too. That's also, and Teradata materials, few Teradata materials too, and Unix scripts also. Okay, some of the scripts generally you are going to use in your project. Okay, how to, for example, once, because most of companies, okay, they are going to use Unix scripts for running of Datastage job. Once Datastage job executed, to get the log, right? And at the same time, for example, an error notification, they want to send them to mail ID or to mobile, or let's call production failure, for example, or after job completed, you want to archive the files what you received. At the same time, every 15 days, I want to clean up my archive directory, or I want to run a weekly kind of archival job. That archival job, once it finishes, okay, how much data archived, how many tables archived, that kind of automated mail I should generate. And I want to pull the parameters in my process. The parameters information also I want to pull. All these, okay, whatever I'm showing right now, not only these I can say, and even third-party scheduling tool, that's a controller materials. If anyone want TWS materials or AutoSys also, I'm having that one too, maybe in another mission. I'll share that one too. So materials wise, interview questions wise, class recordings wise, you no need to worry about it. I can say friendly, okay, friendly. Whatever I know, I'm generally going to give in classes. If I don't know, maybe I'll try to learn it, but I'm not sure, okay. How much I need to learn in case based on your questions, okay, people. I can say I'm very happy with my previous batches. They asked a lot of questions, so same as, okay, same, right? I'm not going to hesitate to answer any question. I'm okay to answer any of your question. It may be simple question or bad question, but try to ask related questions. Otherwise, okay, what has happened even in my previous batches, I can say it's my fault. People are asking question. I'm going out of the actual topic. Okay, I'm explaining that one, but I'm going to do coming batch onwards. Once class at the end of the class, once we answer normal class questions, you can ask any question what you face. For example, today you attended one interview. They ask some question. You don't know answer. You can ask me. You can call me. You can ask me. Or else in the class itself, you can ask me. Somebody, okay, other people also will know, right? They can also prepare. Certification, how much impact means. If you have that one, it's good. If you don't have also, it's good. Why if you don't have it good means you can save your money. Yep. Because right, if you are paying from your pocket, I don't recommend to write a certification. If company is paying, write it. That's true, because right, see, I can say one thing, okay, no client really look for the certification. They are going to ask to have certification or not. Yes. You can say yes. They will never come and look at right. If anyone wants certification, okay, sample one, I'll send my one. Okay, you can just simply replace my name with your name. Show them initially. Once they are sponsoring, because who are in US, if you want to clear your certification, because in Datastage there are 3 levels of certification. One is Datastage, second one is quality stage, third one is information analyzer. So if you want to complete any of those 3, $200, $600 you have to pay. I'm saying that it's a waste. Who are in India, it's $100 for each. If your company is, reimbursing that one, I can say yes, go ahead and write it. You can easily pass.
Yeah, you can give that certificate for US people.
Sorry, what is that?
I'm saying those who are in US, when they go to India, they can give the certification. It is cheaper.
Yep. Even you don't want to go to India, I can explain that one other way. Maybe we can talk offline. You don't need to go to India also. You can you can clear your certification when you are here, but someone will clear you in place of you. See, that's what, okay, there is no too much value, okay, Seshadri, okay, don't worry about certification. But yes, if you want to showcase, maybe that's what I'm saying, right? If your client is showing yes, okay, I mean, asking, sometimes in my company also, we are going to put to my developers, because I'm working as a lead, okay, every year they need to complete 2 certifications. What they're going to do, simply whatever they have found, okay, dump, simply they'll read the dump and they'll clear, and they will, okay. To shortlist for interviews, if you put certification, I don't think so. It's not going to be. But only when you are sending your profile to the client round of interview, yes, it is going to be. Normal case, okay, no one will care about certification. In India, Shashadri, I'm talking about India. US, yes. US little bit, yes. When they are going to look into simple these vendor calls, especially if you are in a contractor, okay, in USA, if you are attending for a vendor call, they are going to look, okay, yeah, you are having these many certifications like this, okay, just for reference. That's what I'm saying. You can put your certifications and adding to your profile. Later you can write it. It's not a big deal.
And Suresh, what about the tool? I mean, like when you are going to install in our machines?
Yeah. Okay. Once right, today's demo completed, right? I think my teams are going to contact you guys, okay, to confirm, because once you guys confirmed all the formalities, I think they will give admin number to you guys, so you can just call that admin. He's going to install. I can say parallelly we are going to complete the data warehousing fundamentals at that time, okay, because some people are going to be free after these classes, or some people are going to be free in the mornings, right? Whenever you have a time, you can, because these admins are going to be from India, not from US. Only most trainers are from US, admins are from India, so you can call in Indian timings, not their day timings mostly. You can call not too much midnight, maybe I can say before 10 or before 9:30 of their night, or mornings of their early morning. You can call them. They will send the software first to you guys. You can download. Once you download the software, just let them know. They will access your mission remotely with using of TeamViewer or GoToMeeting or some this kind of softwares. They will install.
Suresh, one question, like, whatever the software you will give, that will work standalone the PC, like it will be server and the client both?
Both, yes. It's going to work on standalone PCs. Both client and server, both are going to be there in the machine.
And it's not your lab, like, it won't connect to the lab virtually, it will run locally on the machine. Like,
yes.
Suppose tomorrow the course is over and somebody wants to practice, they can do it on their machine independently.
Exactly, yes. And even I want to say one thing. One thing, Kedar, I missed something. Sorry, just a minute, please. In case, I just want to tell one more thing here. In case, for example, you got software today, right? After a few months, after 2 months, assume that our course done. Unfortunately, our machine has some issue. Software corrupted, right? Just give me a call to my mobile number. Anyway, I'm going to give after class confirmation. Give me a call. I'm going to ask my admin to install for free. Okay. There's nothing to pay anything. I mean, even once you're done, because it's not going to be too much costlier softwares. But yes, okay. Don't ask many missions installation, because they're going to track with IP address. Again, they are going to ask me to pay more. That's again problem to me. I don't want to do it. But yes, if it is a genuine case, for example, sometimes, right, you want to change your mission, or your hardware is having issue or something, or sometimes mission got virus or something. Yes, just let me know. I'll ask again to install. They'll install. It's not a big deal.
But Suresh, VM copy can be run on any machine where you have VM client, right? It is like
right. Yep. You can play. That's what some people don't know how to run these VMs and everything, right? Then these guys will come and they will install.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah. Kedarnath, you were saying something I missed. Yeah, you can say now.
Suresh, like this every day, everything.
Sorry. The class is going to be except Sunday, Monday to Saturday.
Okay, then from tomorrow that classes will be starting regularly?
Not from tomorrow. Maybe it's going to start from 11th onwards, because 11th or 12th onwards, because I have 2 topics pending from my previous batch. I need to complete, or else if they give a permission, then I need to take the classes for them. Okay, and maybe over the weekend I'll start. Okay.
You will notify us, right? Like when the class will start.
Yeah, once the class started, okay, there is no breaks. In between, why I'm giving 1 or 2 days means, yes, people need to be confirmed for the batch. Okay, okay, we don't want to entertain, okay. Some people are going to say, okay, we'll confirm that. We don't want to entertain. There is nothing hide here. Okay, if anyone having any questions, you can ask me now itself. So once you guys confirm, then only class is generally going to start, okay. I don't want to, okay, entertain people to come here just because we don't want to share the recording. On day one itself, you will get a previous batch recording. Once you guys confirmed, immediately on day one itself, you guys get the material, all the class slides. You'll also get the previous batch materials too. So that is the reason we are going to ask for confirmation. Once confirmation done, yes, you will get completed. Yep. Somebody asked some question.
Yeah, last question from me, Vikrant. What kind of project you have? Just an overview. I don't want more details.
Yep.
Just an idea.
I can explain either banking one or healthcare one. Anything is okay. Domain
So
wise.
that can be a working version that you can, some sort of, code that you can install on your PC and can run later on, or,
No,
practice it.
I'm not able to run because it's a live project which I worked on actually. I can explain by seeing the specs, but I have the complete code. That code is going to also share to you guys.
The complete code of
Yes.
working project.
Yes.
Do we have any sample project, like small one, that to have some idea instead of
Yeah, the sample project means I can say like this, you can pick one module out of it, you can practice. We are going to share, all 6 modules of the project, 6 or 8 modules of the projects. Just, you can pick one. Yep.
I think
No, see, simple, right? Like Java or other technologies, it's not possible to do sample projects outside of these Datastage and all these tools. Just remember, right? Because it's not possible to have the data outside.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
So we can only give the practice jobs. We can only give the projects jobs to you guys. If you want, let me show you simply. You understand?
Suresh, one more question. So when you design the job, so you will show us like what exactly the process we are going to do, like moving the data from the jobs to UAT and production and running all the scripts. You will show that all the steps, right?
Yep. But don't. That's what I'm saying. Don't expect which is we are really going to do in live, because right, it's not possible to set up all those environment here. The reason is right. For example.
Yeah, we want you to deploy the thing, but at least just for refreshing,
Yep. Process wise, that's what I'm saying. Process wise, I can explain. Just give me a minute. I'll explain. See, I opened just now one of the project jobs. Okay, this is one of the banking project which is installed in this mission. Just an example. Let me open few jobs. Just see what I generally going to do is. This is one of the job. Just an example. It may be simple job. I'm going to explain how I build this job by using technical specs. I'm also going to use some functional specs also. How we wrote a queries in this particular source database stage. See, we have this is not a dummy. I'm not saying this is one of the project right now. It's still running in live. So this particular project, how we wrote the queries, what kind of queries we are going to write, what parameters we are going to use, all those stuff. I'm going to explain. But if you want me to run this job and show me, hands up, because we don't have the data. It's not so easy to bring the data outside, right? We can bring the code outside from the companies. We are not able to bring the data, and even it's not so easy to create the data for it, because these projects we developed years, not even 1 day, 2 days, years of time. So those years of time projects, if you want me to execute here, it's not possible. But how we develop the job normally, the same way we are going to discuss this one too. Then we'll also go to, I'll explain how to build a complex job. For example, this is another complex job, just an example. The same I'm explaining to my previous batch too. So how to build this kind of complex job? See, by seeing this one, you can easily understand. But how we are going to build? What are the stages we need to use? Why I need to use only this stage? Why should not other stage? Or how we did this logic? How we did this logic? I'll open the technical spec here. Based on the technical spec, I'm going to explain this one. So you'll understand how it will be there in real time. But if you want me to execute this one, I'm not able to, because see, if you want just an example, maybe who are worked on, they can easily understand. See, I need source data, I need this reference data, right? I need these tables. If I want to create all this stuff, first of all, I should sit 6 months, do this all, then only I can show you. It's not so easy life. I never.
When you design this job, so you choose all the different stages, right?
Right, everything. Practically, whatever is possible here, I'm going to show everything. Except, I'm talking right now only project. See, this is the same job we can build with our data, I can build the same job with my sample data. But whatever real project data, for example, means it's not possible, right? Because this is the real project logic which I use in my project. That's real project jobs I have. I have few sample data. I don't have entire data, right? It's not so easy to bring. Even the project what I am right now showing you guys is banking one. It's a very secure environment. I should not take even single record out of it. So this entire code, right, I'm going to share you guys. This is a very big project, okay? Almost 2000 plus jobs are there in this one. They're all subject areas. Involved party, global analytics.
Looking at the technical spec, you will tell us like what kind of stage we should use and like how to choose the.
That is That is common. That is as part of my. That's what I'm saying, right? Project I'm going to discuss 15 hours. In the 15 hours, I'm going to open the technical specs. That's up to you guys, okay? I'm going to choose. Okay, next I'm going to ask you guys: do you want healthcare project or you want banking? Let me know. I'll use because I'm familiar with those two domains. I'm not okay. Because I worked on only those two. From last 8 years, I'm working on banking. Sorry, healthcare. Prior to that, I worked on banking. I don't know other domains. So
I'm just asking, is it possible to do both?
Both means again we have to take one more batch. You can attend one more batch. No go. It's not. See, that's what one batch, one project only. See, 15 hours again. Extra 15 hours means it's not so easy. Even this 11.5, right? You don't know because 11.5 itself have lot of components. Don't compare with 8.5 or those versions because it has big data. It has all those stuff. Again, I can say 10 more extra hours I should take to complete 11.5 because it's a new version, new components you should know. See, this is just an example spec. One of the banking. Why I have this banking means recently I'm explaining to my other batch banking only. Same way if you want, I'll copy healthcare also. See, this is the source. This is staging area. This is warehouse. How to build a job based on these kind of specs when your team gave this kind of specs, how to build a job, I'll explain. So, this based on this spec only we developed these jobs. Okay, first what are the jobs that just now I showed you guys. So these jobs are built based on that only. If you want, if anyone want to on logic, I'll just show you this. See, we have a column here, employee identity key. Employee identity key is one column, employee start date. Employee start date, they're getting 0001 0101. Now, let me go to technical spec. How they got? See, employee identity key is a column, which is my staging table column, which is going to become an employee ID in my data warehouse table. Forget about that because while we are building the process, source to staging first we are going to build. For this, my source I am getting is EWCRUD, the column, which is having char of 18. But in my staging area, the same column is reading as varchar. So char to varchar, there is no need to have type conversion. If it is char to some other data type or varchar to decimal or decimal to varchar, we need. And here in the derivation logic, if you see, my technical spec is mentioning it's a direct mapping. Simply do direct mapping. Let's see. I am getting from my source EWCRUD. This is the column from my source table. That column I am mapping to employee identity. Employee identity key is coming as a varchar 20. But EWCRUD, the column is coming as char of 18. And why I am using trim leading and trailing? There may be chance of having a space either before or after of this particular EWCRD column. Because of it's coming as char, right? Better to use trim leading and trailing. That trim leading and who told you to use trim leading and trailing? That's an experience only. Otherwise, normally if it is a new developer, what he is going to do because of that was mentioned direct mapping, just drag and drop. Simply. He's just going to do drag and drop. Like this, when he drag and drop, maybe at the time of you are doing testing, this EWCRUD column will go into assign to employee identity column. But sometimes it may not work. Why? There may be some space. The space will try to load into database table, it's going to fail. So if you are a senior developer, you'll understand, oh, I'm reading char. Char means I'm having char of 18. Is there any guarantee I'm going to get every day 18 characters length? Maybe one day 16 characters, one day 14 characters, one day 13 characters, right? What about the rest of the characters? What do you want to print? If it is a varchar, we don't need to worry about it. Because if it is a varchar of 20 also, if you are getting today only 15 characters, right? Automatically rest of 5 characters are going to be allocated to some other column value or something. So we don't need to. That way, how to build? And see, I told you one more column. employee start date is the column. That is as part of my spec. If you observe here, see, when we are developing the job also, first you have to check right side, then go to left like this. And employee start date is a column which is there in my staging table. For that, we are expecting this is a column. So this is the data, hard code value. This is not coming from my source. This hard code value should be allocated as employee start date. How to do that? Even I want to develop the job first of all. What are the stage I should take? What stage I should select from my job? What is this one here? Table. It's not a file, right? If it is a file, we have to think about files. If it is a table, we have to think about what table? Oracle, Teradata, DB2, we have to think about it. In this case it's a DB2 database. So I choose a DB2. My source is DB2. And my staging area also DB2. Good. We know what is source and target. And why I choose only transformer stage? Why not copy stage? Why not remove duplicate stage? Why not join stage? That is based on these derivation logics. If all the columns are having direct mappings, you can simply choose copy stage also. But right now, second column itself saying that there is no data coming from my source. We are hard coding here. After you know few stages, right? Generally, even when I'm explaining product to other guys also, what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to ask a question here. Which stage can we use here? Can we use copy stage? Can we use remove duplicate stage? Can we use join stage? Can we use lookup? Can we use modify? Can we use switch? Can we use filter? No. Join is just for joining. Remove duplicates is just for removing the duplicates. Copy is just for copying the data. Filter is for filtering the data. But what I am doing here, I need to hard code the data, right? So, which stage I can use? That's where the transformer stage came into picture. I'm selecting this stage. In this stage, what I need to do? But I am going to explain. As part of my class, right? See, I am putting 001, 0101. Why I'm putting this string to date conversion? Because any data which is coming under single quotes, which is date, even though that's a date, that's going to treat as a varchar. But what is the column I'm having here? That column I'm having here is not a normal column, right? It's going to be date column. See, date. But this is varchar. So I should convert the string to date. For that I'm using function. So these are all the functions I'm going to discuss before we came to this project. Okay, don't worry about my training. Okay, way you'll get whatever you want. If you're not getting, you can ask me. There's no problem. Okay, for example, I need a little bit more. So yes, I'm going to. Like this, I'm going to explain all that. That's what based on time. Okay, if you want more hours, also I'm ready to take. Okay, but we have to plan it properly to take more hours. So we can take and we can finish out of the project and everything. Like this, I'm going to explain the project, how to build a job, and anyway you'll get those technical specs. If you want, if you have a time and if you want to build, you can build the same jobs in your machine too. As a reference of the recording, as a reference of the jobs also. Anyway, those jobs what I just showed, right? Project jobs. All the jobs also I'm going to show you on day one itself. Okay, any questions? How are the operating data in US, European countries? I don't know European countries and UK. Sheshadri, I know US, it's okay. Not too good, it's okay. Because these days, right, a lot of other tools came into market. Yeah, Kedarnath, you were asking something. We missed, sorry. Let me mute all other. So you can ask a question.
Just only two questions I have. You said earlier, I'm also in India. So you said earlier that Datastage is integrated with the next big data. So shall we have any sessions on? If yes, then what? How long it will be? The second question is, we are as you know, we have a lot of and vacation on Pongal. We might not be available in 3 to 4 days, as you know that. Major festival in India.
Yeah, I'm also from India. I'm not from other country. Yeah, right. That's what.
That's what happened.
Yeah, don't worry about that one. Yeah, Kedarnath. Even in US also, 14th, 15th, 16th, we have holidays here. Okay. 16th is here Martin Luther King Day. Those 3 days only you are talking about. Pongal, right?
13, 14.
Oh, it's 13, 14, 15. Sorry, maybe I'm thinking that, okay, I'm also from Andhra, so we also celebrate. So 13, I mean, that's your 13, right? You're talking, yeah, 13, 14. I'm talking about in US timing. Yeah, got it. It's not a problem. So we can take a break. Don't worry about that. Okay, we can take a break. Even generally, okay, generally we are going to have a class 13 and 14 only. 15 anyway we have a generally break because it's Sunday, right? 16, yes, we can take a break, no problem. Those 3 days, 4 days we can take a break. It's not a problem. Okay, we can plan. Our sessions started. But for those, okay, anyway we can compensate by taking extra hours. And you asked me one more question about big data, right? Yep, that's what I'm saying. From last 2.5 years, I'm not working on Datastage. I'm working on big data only. Even, but you want me to explain a little bit of big data, then come into the integration part, or see, I can do that one too, but it'll take a little bit more time again, big data, because you need to understand what is HDFS, what is all this stuff actually. Okay, how it's going to integrate with the HDFS to HBase, because we have it. There are 2 tools actually which are going to use to connect with the structures, sources, unstructured. So the one is called Scoop, second one is called Flume. Flume is the one for unstructured data. Scoop means for structured data processing. In place of Scoop, we are going to use Datastage. Datastage is an ETL tool which you can do ETL operation. After you are doing the transformations, that data we are directly going to load into HDFS. The HDFS means Hadoop Distributed File System, and HBase also. So that I can show you. Same as how we are going to build by using Datastage into the data warehouse. In Hadoop also, it's a kind of data warehouse we have that's called Hive. Hive. That's also kind of for structure, database. We also going to write a kind of queries there. Those are called Hive queries. HQL. There's a separate querying language is there. In Hadoop also, that's called HQL. Hadoop and Hive query language. That, if you want, I'll explain basic part. Okay? Because Hadoop training is completely different. Okay? I don't want to go to that part again. I'll explain. That's what I'm saying. From 11.3 batch, okay, I should explain a little bit about that one too. Then only it will going to be. Otherwise, okay, no use of learning 11.5. That I'll explain. Okay. Yep. Any other questions? Did I miss any questions here in chat, or anyone having any questions? Fakri or anyone? Okay. If no questions, thank you. Yeah, that's going to be. See, I can say there is a competition is going on Seshadri right now to Informatica, Datastage, and Talent. Who is going to win? Like our US elections, right? We don't know who is going to win. IBM is going to win, or Oracle is going to win, or Talent. But yes, there's a lot of competition is going on right now to integrate Datastage or Informatica or Talent with big data. Who will succeed? We don't know. Last year, Informatica succeeded. At that time, Datastage released 9.1. No major features in Hadoop integration. So I can say they failed. IBM failed. But after 11.5 released, again IBM stood up in market. Yes, we also have integration because what IBM did is, I think everyone knows, right? Okay, mostly. I should not speak. They are going to always integrate with their own tool. IBM also have their own big data that's called Big Insights. Like how third-party vendors like Cloudera, Hortonworks, right? Amazon EC3 Cloud, like this kind of how Hadoop they are going to third-party vendors are providing. Same as IBM also have their own integrated tool with big data that is Big Insights. They started integrating of the Datastage with the Big Insights. But first of all, the Big Insights itself is a flop product. No clients are using that one mostly. They are using, not too much. And most of the clients you start using of Cloudera, that is Cloudera big data components, all ecosystem, and few clients also using Mapper, and few also used Hortonworks also. Those 3 are popular vendors who is supporting right now big data completely. Even though big data is completely kind of open source tools, which is Apache one, but yes, some vendor, okay, these Cloudera, Hortonworks, these are what they did is they integrate all the ecosystem components because there are so many components inside Hadoop. There are 13, 14 components of the Scala, okay, Kafka, and okay, Hive, Pig, Scoop, HDFS, HBase, even some of the other database also, MongoDB, Cassandra, right? Greenplum. There are so many because it's a kind of big family. We should not learn all these also. Okay, it's going to take lifetime to learn all these things also. But at least, okay, three things need to even. I'm also not working on all those. Even 13, 14, we are working on 4, 5 components mostly, and two components is supporting. So, as Datastage is not have that much capability at that time, right? Clients are not interested who want to migrate big data, so they choose other ETL tool. Now with the 11.5, yes, IBM also doing computation. In between this Informatica and Datastage fighting, there was one new tool came into market that's called Talent. That's also ETL tool actually. That is having very good functionality with the big data, but unfortunately what happened with that one is it's not as stabilized. See, IBM is a big company, Oracle is a big company, right? Oracle is Informatica boss. I can say, right? So in front of these two big giants, Talent is not able to survive much. Maybe once Talent also took over by some other big giant, okay, then yeah, we can say, okay, big client. So maybe yeah, it's going to be good. But until then, that's going to be down the line, maybe after 2 to 3 years. These three tools right now in the market which are having very good integrations of big data. Informatica is also okay, Datastage and Talent. But Talent is not a stable tool actually, because 80% of the tool is open source. We have to install always software, and with this kind of manual work is more. Even in my project, we are working on that one too. Instead of working on MapReduce in Hadoop, we are using Talent. I'm kind of a jack of all trade but master of none kind of thing right now, because even future, in case we want to move into big data also, right, you'll be safe. We'll never be master in one area, but we are going to put our hand in all these. That's a problem with big data. Even big data also need to be stabilized after a few years. Yes. Any other questions? Okay, I think it's too late. Okay. Don't worry, okay. 11.5, okay. We are also discuss 1.5 in class. Fine. We'll meet in the class. I'm going to send the details about my class. So my teams are going to inform you guys. It will not take more days, 1 or 2 days only. To confirm you guys, we'll confirm batch and we'll continue. Thanks for joining. We'll meet in the next class. I'll send the recording to my teams. They will share the recording to you guys.
Thank you so much.